Welcome back to part 2 of the Core Connection or Partner Orientation Training. I'm Jess Mueller, a project specialist with Core Connection. In part 2 of our training, the purpose is intended to inform the staff regarding the information and data that is collected as part of core services and to discuss the process by which the information is collected. This training will also discuss the roles and responsibilities of staff surrounding data and information sharing. Core Connection's mission is to remove barriers, increase awareness, and provide community supports to those reentering the community after incarceration. The goal of core services is to reduce recidivism. Collecting quality data and efficiently sharing information will assist us in effectively supporting our clients and communicating to each other and our community the quality work that we do and the outcomes that we share. In order to discern whether or not core services are able to reduce recidivism, we need quality data to look at outcomes. The aspects of quality data are that it is accurate, meaning that we are measuring what is intended to measure, that the data is reliable, meaning that all the partners are consistently collecting the same information and the information is collected in the same way, that the data is complete and not missing anything, that the data is collected consistently and is current. Since we are working with sensitive client information regarding treatment, the data must also be kept confidential. The intake and referral process is an important way that Core Connection collects data. The intake and referral forms contain many of the data points that Core Connection uses to look at outcomes. This is why it is so essential that each of the forms is filled out completely. All referrals to core services must be generated from probation. Within 24 hours of receiving the referral, Core Connection sends referrals to the core services and designates one of the service providers a lead role, though all services are expected to attempt to contact the client. The core services then contact the client to schedule an intake. Once the intake is complete, it is then faxed or emailed to Core Connection. Core will then pass this intake to the other services referred and collect the data from the intake form. Once a client begins participating in services, Core services report on client progress by 3 p.m. on Fridays so that the Core Connection staff can consolidate the data and send it to the DPOs at the beginning of the following week. Client-specific information, such as a change in status, updated addresses or phone numbers, or other client information, is sent to Core Connection from probation and disseminated to the service providers. This information, the referral, the intake, client progress, and the client information are all used to evaluate the outcomes of core services. These outcomes are reported to probation, the community, and the Community Corrections Partnership, or CCP. Core staff ensures that all forms are as complete as possible. Any errors or gaps in information or a missing release of information might result in a form being sent back or in a delay in the referral being sent to the service providers. All referrals can be faxed or emailed to Core. Probation should report changes in client status, such as a change in address or phone number, or changes to a client's custody status, as soon as possible. Any communication from probation is disseminated to the services as soon as it is received. Difficulties and concerns should always be communicated to Core staff so that we can continue to streamline the process and build capacity. Core staff ensures that all intakes are filled out completely. Since all the partners share the intake form, any missing information could result in poor service delivery. All completed intakes should be sent to Core via email or fax so that they can be distributed to the other partners. Data reports are generated for DPOs on a weekly basis so all weekly data must be accurate and must be completed by 3 p.m. on Friday. Difficulties and concerns should always be communicated to CORE so that we can continue to streamline the process and build capacity. All referrals and intakes are responded to and sent out within 24 to 48 hours of being received by CORE staff. Monthly statistics regarding service members and referrals are sent to probation supervisors. DPOs receive updates on their clients' participation in services every week as well. All of the compiled data is being gathered to build capacity and report outcomes. We thank you so much for participating in CORE Connection Service Partnership. Please take a moment to fill out this short post-test to review what was discussed in this webinar. Any questions can be emailed to core@icfs.org, or you can always visit our website at www.coreconnectionvc.org.